Good to know you're still with us. This is Channels Television. We're celebrating 21 years of professional broadcasting. Right about now, we're talking sports. Yes, we're having fun talking sports. We are looking at sports development in Nigeria. We also have talked about the 2016 Paralympic Games. We're counting down. It's now 2 more days to go. It's all about fun and excitement right there in Rio. Guys, let's come back. Toby, let's quickly talk about Scrabble. Last year, we were excited. A Nigerian defeated an Englishman in Scrabble, which is supposed to be a word game in English, so he made champion. This year, it's not a sweet story.
I mean, very, very sad story for Wellington. We celebrated him about a couple of 12 months ago. They did well, went there, give us best of representation, and then he was world champion, and we celebrated him. And Austin, I could recall we had the show together on the same platform, and we said a lot about how we need to give Wellington a lot of support, how Wellington need to develop, how we can take advantage of this to develop Scrabble in this nation. I mean, 12 months down the lane, we are back to square one.
Struggled to get visa.
Wellington and the rest of the guys struggled to get visa to France. We got there 2 days before the championship kicked off, and the world champion finished 23rd. I mean, it is very, very sad and unacceptable. We can't continue talking. Just like I said earlier, when we were talking about the Olympics, we need to hold people responsible for all this failure. How can a world champion finish 23rd? Really unacceptable.
Onye, that tells a story. Onye, that tells a story that when you win, you don't go to sleep. This is a guy that could have even done things that will make him a world figure, not just developing Scrabble in Nigeria. But how can you explain struggling with visa and then going to the competition 2 days after it had started?
It's totally unacceptable, Austin. And see, this recurring decimal. We've heard such stories in the past. The past 2 decades, we've had these cock and bull stories about athletes not being granted visa. And when you investigate properly, you also discover that they applied late. And the embassies are not going to circumvent their rules because you are going for an international tournament. These tournaments, have been scheduled perhaps a year or more before the kickoff date. So what were you doing, by not applying at the stipulated the period, for visa? So I think this is embarrassing because this lad was received by the president last year. So I mean, if the presidency now discovers that the country has been embarrassed by shoddy planning of some federation, then they should be held accountable. The federation should be called upon to explain how the world champion, beg your pardon, got to the venue of the tournament late and eventually ended on the 23rd position.
23rd, you could tell you the story. A lot of questions to be answered. What did we do with Wellington Jigere emerging world Scrabble champion? What level of development did he bring to the game in Nigeria? I don't get it, because going to the championship as that, the moment he wins, a responsible, purpose-driven federation starts planning how he will defend the title.
Absolutely.
The plan starts right from that day.
Absolutely. Draw up programs to assist him, finance, logistics, support structure,
world tours,
to ensure that this lad, defends the title he won the previous time. And they can also use his leverage on what he has achieved to inspire a lot of people. People play Scrabble in this country. A lot of people play Scrabble, but perhaps they don't know that it can take you to that global stage. And that's what the federation should have done. But instead of doing that, the reverse is the case.
It's not just Wellington Jigere. He managed to go. A lot of junior players didn't even get a chance.
There's another guy that Dennis, he finished 11th. He finished 11th. Well, yes, he could not win, but he finished 11th. But what are we doing to these guys apart from Wellington? Are we trying to develop them? Are we trying to develop Scrabble? Just like when you said, we've got a lot of, we've got people that can play Scrabble, people that can get involved and get engagement, with Scrabble. What is the federation doing?
I know.
It is very, very sad.
I know. Someone will say, okay, let's just talk. We'll keep talking about these things until we see changes with sports in Nigeria. So over to the Nigerian Scrabble Federation. I know the leadership of that federation and the work they're trying to do. We need to do more. Little things as these can't stir development. We need to do it. One federation that has been working and getting us talking is table tennis. The Nigerian Table Tennis Federation, they're not going to sleep in any way. They get ready for the 2016 IWF World Junior Championship in Cape Town, South Africa. We know that a lot of players were called up. Night has been cut down to 12 away. They will still watch them under a close supervision of a legend. Segun Toriola is monitoring this team. That's a very good one.
Yeah, Austin, I was so happy when I read about Segun Toriola, opting to coach some of these players. I mean, a man that has been to that kind of number of Olympic Games is a legend. He was celebrated. You were at the Olympic Games. I saw how he was celebrated.
That's right.
So at that level, I mean, it's very significant that he passes the knowledge he has acquired to these youngsters. At this age, these players can tap into the enormous talent that Segun Toriola has acquired over the years. For the Table Tennis Federation, we can only continue to encourage them. I think this is the way forward. We need to produce the likes of Aaron Okwadiri, Segun Toriola, Funke Osunake, and they are everywhere, Austin. We just need that program, to harness this talent. So for the federation, I think it's a big one for them. Kudos to everything they've been doing.
That's right. So some of the players, you know them. Augustine Emmanuel, winner of the National Under-16 Table Tennis Championship, is also part of the team. Esther Oribamiche, she's part of the team. There's also Agnes, there's Vivian Akman, there is Ojomo, and the likes. Amadi Ume is also part of the team. Aziz Sholanke. These are young table tennis players. The federation are watching them, closely. It's now 12. They will still cut it down to 8. 4 male and 4 females. They will go to Cape Town, South Africa, to represent Nigeria at the IWTF World Junior Table Tennis Championships. That's one for the future. It's developmental. We need to watch it closely. So well done to the Nigeria Table Tennis Federation. You know what? Let's take a breather now. Let you see highlights from the game between Nigeria and Tanzania. You will see a lovely goal that will make even a blind man see. Don't go anywhere. Stay.
Leaves you wondering, really, whether this was the same team that somewhere around 1994 that were ranked about 5th in the world. Some have been led to lament how are the mighty fallen. And Kelechi, I think that even though the stakes in terms of national pride are very high, it's also likely that this is seen by most Nigerians as a way of encouraging the team, the turnout today, encouraging the side to go back for greater glories.
Well, I give a lot of kudos to the Nigeria Football Federation for that.
As the fans wait with bated breath for the kickoff of this game. It is Tanzania with the kickoff. Ederson Echejile does get in his head to the ball. But the Tanzanians intend to keep possession and show for as long as they can. Shiza Yahaya getting the ball forward. Well, the referee says that William Truth Ekong was at fault there. And it's Kelechi Iheanacho, ball through. Ojonigalo, oh my goodness. My word. Kelechi Iheanacho teasing the ball forward. And the Watford man really. Victor Moses. Kelechi Iheanacho. Who is it to be? It is Victor Moses, and he makes it a very lazy one.
Would want to sort that out in this game.
Gentle pass teased forward, and Tanzanians looking dangerous. Last ditch tackle, and the referee says it's nothing.
Just does the business with just one foot, because you will never always get it on that foot.
There he is again, and he decides to go for it. And that is Kelechi Iheanacho. That is the young man we were talking about. He left it with that left foot, and Nigeria finally have got their nose in front here. Kelechi Iheanacho, the man to be now.
Well, I've always had firm belief that if that young man starts up front for Nigeria as an out-and-out striker, he was more deadly. Just took it past his man, saw the space and smashed it. For once, Aishi Manula, poorly positioned couldn't do anything about the strike because it was such a superb one.
You see, I wasn't joking when I said that goal can restore the sight of a blind person. Kelechi Iheanacho scored a screamer for Nigeria to give Gernot Rohr his first victory as technical advisor of the Super Eagles. Well, the Super Eagles will not be at the 2017 AFCON, but Nigerians will hold on to that goal and say, there's a glimmer of hope. That's how I'd like to describe it, a glimmer of hope for the team which you watch. Could you watch that game? You saw, is it the sort of team you want to see? Yes, the game had nothing. A lot of people call it dead rubber, but I know a lot of Nigerians also use that game to monitor, to assess the team and say, there's something we can look towards.
Well, Austin, there were some positives.
Okay.
Musa Mohammed made his competitive debut for the Super Eagles.
That's right.
Wilfred Ndidi also made his competitive debut. So what it shows is that there is hope, kind of revolution for the team, and that is the way forward. I also want to agree with Gernot Rohr. You know, I read his interview where he said the level of confidence before this game was very low because the players, you know, were disappointed with themselves, you know, for their failure to qualify for the AFCON. And by the time they start winning, that confidence, you know, will begin to grow. When you look at the game technically, missed a lot of chances. I think that has to be resolved as soon as possible because we have less than a month to the World Cup qualifier against Zambia, and very, very key game in Zambia. So a lot of things to, you know, to take home in this game. They scored a goal. I think the last time they scored was a long time, Toby. At the Uyo Stadium, we have not won since that stadium was opened. So I think it's also a good omen that this team scored a goal, and going forward to October, hopefully that the German coach will be able to restore some confidence, and the strikers will find their scoring boots.
That's what we're hoping. That will be any major talking point.
Yeah, really. I think the team played well. Yes, just like Onya said, they missed a lot of chances, but in Austin, I think in the last 10 Super Eagles games, we haven't created more chances like this. So a bit of positive. And then the German noticed that, and then all he needs to do is to work on that. Because yes, we don't have enough time to do that, but when the guys come back to camp for the Zambia game, they might do that and work on them. I mean, more intensity in our play, pressing high on our opponent. We had more ball possession. Tanzania doesn't enjoy, much time on the ball. And also the key thing in Austin, solid back four. I think Hekong and Balogun partnership was wonderful. Yes, Echijile was a bit suspect, and later he picked up. Musa was great. A bit of childish, in his movement also. But I mean, we had a solid back four. The combination was so superb. I mean, this is a positive we can put together for us going to the Zambia game, because a lot of people think it's a dead rubber game. But don't forget, this is the only game Roy had in his hands to assess the players, to put the players together before the game against Zambia. So, I mean, I think we've seen positive. We just need to bring one. You also mentioned the fact that we also look at one or two players that can come in and fill the gap, he noticed. And also the kid in the goal Iheanacho just scored. I saw that training about on three occasions. The practice in training. Your corner, the separate situation, put a ball to someone that can shoot, find a space and shoot. And Iheanacho just scored from that situation also. So the coach will be excited and a lot of things. I mean, we've seen a lot of positive in this team. I just hope the players can build on this, and then the confidence will come back to the team going to the World Cup qualifiers.
So that's it. Team Nigeria trying to get back in terms of football. The Super Eagles of Nigeria beating Tanzania by a single goal, but did not qualify for the 2017 African Cup of Nations. We'll let you see the list of countries that have qualified. Only gave you a tip of what you should expect when we start talking about Uganda. What a story. But that's it right there. Qualified teams for the 2017 AFCON. Gabon, they are the hosts, so they will be competing. Morocco, Group F winners. Algeria, they are in our group for the 2018 World Cup qualifiers. This team, they are not smiling. They traveled, they defeated their opponent 7. Only 7. While we were struggling to win Tanzania by a single goal, they say, what this space? You want to monitor us? Watch this. Cameroon also qualified, Group M winners. Senegal qualified. Egypt is in there. Nigerians will say, that's our spot. That's our spot. No, Nigeria is not there. Egypt, Group G winners. Ghana also qualified for the AFCON. Guinea-Bissau will compete at the 2017 AFCON. Zimbabwe, Mali, Cote d'Ivoire, Uganda. Okay. Burkina Faso will also compete at the 2017 African Cup of Nations. There's Tunisia, there's DR Congo, and of course Togo. So much to talk about as regards the qualification for the 2017 African Cup of Nations, but we'll keep it. We'll go on a quick break, take a breather. When we come back, we will dissect all from 2017 AFCON. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.